Hello, this is Professor Werwath. I want to talk specifically about strategic technology trends for 2024. These are um, significant advances in technology that will be impacting all of us and all of your careers, especially, but also our personal lives as well as society as a whole. So I think we can talk about it at different levels. One level would be how can um, you know, take advantage of this in your career as your career is moving forward, and how can you get ahead of it so that you can be in the right place at the right time from a career perspective. But the other thing is, what training is going to be needed, what are the implications for society, and how we're going to live our lives in the years to come. We're witnessing significant advancements in technology, probably faster than I've ever seen in my lifetime, possibly faster than any technological advance we've ever seen in the history of the world, and largely because things tend to move exponentially. So what we're seeing is a tremendous uplift in terms of what the capabilities are and what potential impacts are on productivity. And I think what you'll see is that it'll impact greatly how you live your life, but also what opportunities are in front of you. Just to kind of give you a sense of scale, all right? When I was in my 20s, a few decades ago, let's call it, 3 decades ago, I was able to buy a 32K memory expansion for my computer for about $400, right? Today, I can get 32 gigabytes as memory expansion for my computer. That's effectively $40. So not only is it easily 50%, more than 50%, I'd say more than 90% cheaper as a product, it's also 1 million, that's right, 1 million times more capable. 32K to 32 gig, right, is about 1 million X. All right. So think about that, and also think about just in the last 30, 40 years, how much we've been able to progress. And that's just memory for computers. I'm not talking about AI. AI has this ability to effectively teach itself. So if you've got AI implementations around the world and they're all learning and they're all communicating with each other, it's the equivalent of having 1 billion people connected to 1 billion people, right? And constantly learning and growing and building on that learning base and that knowledge base. We could see even faster accelerations in the future than what we've already seen to date. So my 32K, 32 gig example is potentially just scratching the surface of what we might be seeing in the future. So let's start with AI. Artificial intelligence continues to evolve rapidly. Breakthroughs in machine learning, natural language processing, computer vision. AI applications are transforming sectors from healthcare to finance, enabling automation and intelligent decision-making. AI is being applied in autonomous vehicles, predictive analytics, personalized recommendations, virtual assistants. The integration of AI technologies is revolutionizing processes, improving efficiency, unlocking new capabilities across entire industries, right? Now, recognize this doesn't happen in isolation, right? You need other technologies to enable AI. For example, IoT, and what I've already done a similar video on SDA, software-defined architecture. These two things, right, IoT and SDA, I think are going to lead in almost a triad fashion, right, along with AI, to advancements that we can't even conceive of right now. I mean, things that will be implemented in the next 5 to 10 years that aren't even conceptualized yet, right? The impact of AI on business includes increased productivity, enhanced customer experience, data-driven insights. Organizations leveraging AI effectively are gaining competitive advantages and driving innovation in their respective fields. I'll give you a very simple, concrete example at the very end of this presentation, or near the end, so you'll see what it's like, especially in the energy industry, right? Let's talk about robotics, which is a specific implementation of AI in my mind. Autonomy, right? Robots are being packaged in humanoid form factors that will ease their deployment into society. What they're able to do now is nothing short of astounding, right? We've seen robots that can fold clothes after laundry is done. It can literally do almost anything on the factory floor that we have human beings doing today. While much has been said about autonomous vehicles, few talk about autonomous shipping, airplanes, pilots, in other words, rail systems, right? Will all transportation eventually be autonomous? That alone, I mean, that is just a small slice of what robotics and AI and autonomy can do. But what does this alone mean for workers of the future, right? What does this mean for, um, you know, in terms of the types of structures and infrastructure we build? Today we have parking garages. What do we need parking garages for in an autonomous world, right? If you really want to get a handle on this, put yourself into the future where human beings are not driving cars. Just start with that, right? You don't need parking lots. You don't need parking attendants. You don't need parking meters. Parking will be a thing of the past. You don't need to park. So all that space needed for parking, most homes have garages. Why would you need a garage? Because you're not going to own a car. The car is going to be a service, right? It'll be basically something that you purchase on a item by item, use by use basis, right? So you won't own a car. There won't be car dealerships. There won't be mechanics as we know them, right? There might be a few mechanics, but frankly, electric vehicles require much less mechanical work, right? So the future of autonomy and robotics is just when it comes to transportation alone, could have massive ramifications, right? Would we even need, for example, all the space that's allocated to cars in our society, right? Think about how we allocate space today. I mean, today's United States layout is often driven by the presence of thousands and thousands of vehicles, not just on the roads and the bridges, but also in parking lots and also in, driveways and, the typical human community, right, is almost 60-70% allocated to park, just a shopping center alone, right? Probably 70-80% of the space is allocated to the vehicle. So we will no longer be slaves to the vehicle, right? The vehicle will become our slave, right? We will be able to dictate what we need from the vehicles, when we need it, and just as we need it, and no more. Blockchain, right? The future of blockchain includes advancements in scalability, interoperability, governance, leading to broader adoption and integration with existing systems. Businesses exploring blockchain solutions are poised to enhance trust, streamline processes, and drive transparency. So I think of blockchain as a cloud-based distributed ledger, right? That's basically what it is, right? Blockchain technology is set to revolutionize industries with its decentralized and secure nature. Innovations such as smart contracts, right, that are self-executing. So you don't have to wait for human beings to intervene. Literally, the contract executes itself based on a set of conditions that have been predefined by both sides and agreed to, right? Smart tokenization, supply chain transparency, right? All of these are reshaping how businesses operate and collaborate. So we will no longer need, much of the logistics support. Much of that will be automated, and much of that will be, through blockchain, through IoT, once again, Internet of Things. We're going to be able to manage in many ways without managers, right? Cybersecurity, right? The threats are real. The threats are growing. Cybersecurity landscape is characterized by increased threats, sophisticated cyber attacks, growing importance of data protection, the needs to prioritize cybersecurity measures to safeguard their digital assets. Organizations need to maintain trust with all their stakeholders, not just their customers, but their investors, their employees, their subcontractors and suppliers, right? Everybody, right? So everybody's going to rely on cybersecurity, and hopefully the solutions are keeping pace with the threats, right? Cybersecurity trends include zero trust security, right? AI-driven defense mechanisms, and the focus on proactive threat intelligence. Adopting a holistic cybersecurity approach is crucial for mitigating risks and ensuring resilience against cyber threats, right? The role of compliance, such as GDPR, which is, of course, a European standard on data privacy, right? Which will likely be cloned and propagated around the world, right? It'll become critical in the cybersecurity landscape. Organizations must adhere to compliance requirements to protect the sensitive data, maintain regulatory compliance, and also maintain the faith and trust of all of their stakeholders. I mentioned IoT multiple times, right? Internet of Things. In my mind, IoT is really about sensors combined with communications protocols and then intelligence on the other end to make sense of the data. Because IoT has the potential for creating a humongous amount of data. Now, making sense of it all, making value out of it. Data needs to be transformed into knowledge, which needs to be transformed into valuable action, right? IoT promises that. It's the foundation of that. But, frankly, we've got a long ways to go, right? The Internet of Things is expanding into industries like manufacturing, healthcare, and smart cities, connecting devices and enabling data-driven decision-making. IoT adoption is driving efficiencies, automation, and innovation across multiple sectors, right? IoT technologies are transforming business models, optimizing processes, and creating new revenue streams. The proliferation of connected devices and sensors is reshaping how organizations collect, analyze, and utilize data for operational improvements. Very simple example, right? Caterpillar has a lot of deployed equipment around the world, right? We're talking heavy equipment, very expensive equipment that needs to be maintained. It needs to be tracked. It needs to be, monitored for both, upcoming maintenance as well as issues that might be reliability issues or operational issues. IoT is enabling all that. IoT modules plugged into these pieces of heavy equipment will eventually, if not already, provide a lot of that information in terms of knowledge, insight, and action, which is really what the companies are looking for. And they're paying companies like Caterpillar, the people who own the equipment, the people who lease the equipment, the people who lease it to others, right, are all willing to pay for this service. So there is value add to these services. And it's automating something that used to be a very manual and cumbersome process. Cloud computing trends. Cloud computing in 2024 includes multi-cloud strategies, serverless computing, edge computing, driving flexibility, scalability, and cost efficiencies. Organizations leveraging cloud are able to accelerate digital transformation and enhance agility in the cloud. So we've got an entire class on digital transformation. Cloud computing and cyber are all parts of that, right? Data security in the cloud, right? Ensuring data security and compliance is paramount. Migrate sensitive workloads and applications, implementing robust security measures, encryption protocols, and access controls, right? Hybrid cloud adoption is on the rise, enabling organizations to balance on-premise infrastructure with cloud services for improved performance and flexibility. Schools like Northwestern have historically been, largely on-premise storage, right? Maybe a hybrid cloud adoption migrates them at least partially to the cloud. Hybrid cloud architectures offer a seamless integration of resources and applications for optimized operations, right? 5G, this is the industry I worked in, right? This was telecommunications. So 5G has got a transformative opportunity and potential here. It's poised to revolutionize the sectors of telecommunications, healthcare, and smart cities, again, offering faster speeds, lower latency, increased connectivity. The transformative potential of 5G includes enhanced IoT. So remember I said IoT has a layer of communications. It's not just sensors, but it's communications linked to those sensors, right? Now you layer in 5G and you've got some tremendous opportunity here for enhanced command and control, right? Imagine, pushing a button on your smartphone and being able to observe the area that your car is parked in, right? So if you've got 8 different cameras having a view, a real-time view of streaming video from all 8 cameras around your car in real time at virtually no cost, guess what? Much of that is already there, right? Tesla's implemented something like that. Kia and Hyundai, lots of companies have implemented, or they are implementing this very type of thing for security purposes, right? For safety. 5G's impact extends to industries like autonomous vehicles, augmented reality, remote healthcare, enabling advanced functionalities and innovative services. Businesses leveraging 5G networks can unlock new opportunities for growth, efficiencies, and customer engagement. I will add one more thing, which is digital twins, right? So if you have high-speed communications, you've got IoT, right? You have a model for how a system should operate. It can be informed in real time with data updates from the IoT system, right? you can now create a digital twin that's adapting to the real world conditions. Your model is now being updated in real time, and you can predict future behaviors and maybe even predict future dysfunctions and failures of the system. So I think these digital twins really kind of fit very nicely between the 5G and the IoT, right? It does require, though, that you have a good systems model. This is where engineers come in. Can you model the behavior of the system and then let these IoT systems inform that model and create a real-time update so that these become not static models, but dynamic models. Okay, data analytics, right? Data analytics plays a vital role in shaping business strategies, enabling data-driven insights, optimizing decision-making processes. Data analytics revolutionizes how businesses extract value from data, enabling predictive analytics, real-time insights, personalized experiences. By harnessing the power of data, organizations can gain a competitive edge, enhance customer satisfaction, and mitigate risks effectively, right? Technological advancements in data analytics, such as AI-driven analytics, machine learning algorithms, big data platforms, are driving a data revolution. This is nothing short of a data revolution, right? And the need for data storage, the need for data analytics, the need for data insights has never been greater, and it's growing by leaps and bounds, right? Businesses that embrace data-driven cultures and analytics capabilities are poised for sustainable growth and innovation, right? So emerging tech in healthcare, right? Healthcare practices are revolutionizing healthcare operations and what we do in healthcare, patient care, medical diagnosis, treatment protocols, telemedicine, wearable devices, personalized medicine are improving healthcare accessibility, efficiency, and outcomes. If you don't believe it, right, just go to Amazon. Amazon's already there. They're a step ahead of you. They've had a pharmacy for years. Now they're going into the healthcare delivery business. So through telemedicine and other techniques, they can connect you with a doctor at low cost as part of your Amazon Prime membership, right? Digital health solutions are reshaping healthcare delivery, right? I mean, all those horror stories of taking 2 or 3 months to get a doctor's appointment. We're seeing doctors remotely. We're seeing doctors on telemedicine. We're going to be seeing doctor bots, if you will. These are automated systems that will effectively walk you through your issues and concerns as a patient, even before or even as a pre-screening for the doctor themselves, right? The integration of emerging technologies like AI, IoT, big data analytics is revolutionizing healthcare practices, right? You wear a watch, that watch can track your pulse and your heartbeat. It can track 1,000 other things, right? The sensors are there, the applications and the integration is what's next, right? So we have AI-driven automation, we have predictive analytics, right? We have all these things coming together. Let me bring a very tangible example to you before I leave you, right? And that is the idea of home energy. So some of you may know, some of you may not know. We have software-defined architectures now for thermostats. So the thermostat now has been deconstructed and reconstructed, is on the far left, into a digital device that not only is connected to the internet, so it's effectively an IoT device. That data is being transmitted into the cloud. Historical data is being tracked. You have some data analytics that predict what's going to happen next in terms of your adjustment of your thermostat under different conditions. So it's learning how you live and operate. It gives you, in the middle section here, you're seeing the app. So you're tracking the various sensors. You can adjust the temperature in various rooms remotely. You can even shut down your system or turn it on. And all this is just specific to your furnace, which is effectively one circuit in your home, right? The span panel on the far right will control all the circuits in your home, right? What do? They deconstructed the traditional circuit panel, right? The loads panel, as it's known in the industry, 30, 40 different circuits now being completely software controlled, software monitored, and constantly being updated electronically over the air. So you've got basically connectivity to the internet. With that, you can independently control each circuit. You can monitor each circuit. You can create sub panels, virtual sub panels, right? So a sub panel that says, these are my critical circuits. I want you to protect them in case of an outage. In case of the outage, I want my battery to be my primary backup. and my diesel genset to be the backup to the battery. And all of this can be programmed into the next generation. In fact, I'll call it the current generation of Span.io panels, right? So these panels are going to revolutionize how you and I use energy in our homes and how we decide how that energy should be optimized. So for example, if I'm getting grid energy, I'm getting solar energy, I'm getting battery energy, how do those things interact under different conditions, right? Under high grid energy cost situations, maybe you want to disconnect from the grid and then rely on battery and solar, right? Maybe you want to fill up your battery when the sun is most productive and then deplete the battery at night when the sun is least productive. So all of this can be programmed in, all that logic is there and it's available to you. My guess is most of you aren't fully aware of what's happening at the consumer level, how AI, data analytics, IoT, 5G communications are all coming together today, right now, at a very kind of almost primitive level. I would suspect in the next 5 to 10 years, there's much more opportunity, and much of this is now up to you. What you want to do with it in your industry, how you can take advantage of software-defined architectures, and then latch onto these new technology trends to implement real digital change in whatever product or company you're working with. Take care.